I'm not sure how I broke it, but it's broke. Hey everyone, Mike here, Rusty Garage and Homestead. Today we have the Polaris Ranger in the shop because somehow I broke it. So let's check it out and then let's get it fixed. Okay, as you guys can tell, I've got all the sway out of the sway bar on this thing. Not real sure how that happened, but it did. So anyways, got a new sway bar. I ordered it from Partzilla. That was the cheapest place I could find one, but I got a new sway bar and 4 of the new bushings. It's a 2-piece plastic bushing that goes inside this clamp. So all we're gonna end up doing, taking these loose up here, pulling this broken piece off. Same on the other side, we'll pull it off, and then take these 2 clamp bolts off here and over here, and the sway bar is just gonna pop right out. Okay, first thing you're gonna wanna do is remove the nut off the top side of this. This is where the sway bar hooks into. I removed the whole thing because this is actually about a week later. The clips you just seen, the sway bar was supposed to be delivered that day. That's why I was recording it that day, but something got messed up in shipping and it's about a week later. I had to remove this because it was getting into the tire on this side, and I use this machine almost daily, so I need to be able to drive it around. The top nut on this is a 15 millimeter, and it's got 2 little flat spots on the shaft to hold it. Otherwise this whole thing's gonna want to twist on you, and that is a 8 millimeter. But look at this brake on this stabilizer. It's got 2 little fractures coming up the pipe right here. And that is a jagged brake. Still not sure exactly how this broke. I've read on some of the forums and stuff, this doesn't seem like it's a real common thing. So yeah, still not sure exactly what I did. So since we got the bolt off the other side undone, we're gonna go ahead and unbolt this side. So it'll be that 15 millimeter and 8 millimeter, so we can get the top of that sway bar off of this rod on this side, on the driver's side. Then we'll pull the 4 bolts out to take the whole sway bar off. Now you want to take this off first on both sides, or for sure the side that's still connected, because there still could be tension on this. Okay, and this is really all we need to take off of it. The rod and everything can stay. Like I said, I just took the other side off just because I still needed to drive this thing. So once that's off, we'll be able to flip that sway bar up out of the way. Now we'll take these 4 bolts out. So you can see this bolt, this rod that goes into the sway bar, how it's up against the tire whenever it's not hooked into this. That's how it was on the other side. That's why I had to take it off. Okay, now these nuts that hold these clamps onto the sway bar, these are 13 millimeter. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip all 4 of these out and this thing will come off. Okay, I'm gonna take the carriage bolts out. And this thing will just pop right back. Now you can tell I have kept grease in both of these. That's what all that red stuff is in there. Because on the back side of each one of these, you do have a grease cert right there. Okay, now that the old one is off, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe all the grime and dirt from around where the brackets go. But this is a new bushing, and that is the OEM part number, if you're curious on that. And the sway bar, that is the part number, the OEM sway bar for the Polaris Ranger. So the only thing you need to keep off of your old one is these brackets right here. These will just slide off around these bushings, and then the bushing's gonna fall. Now if you didn't order new bushings, obviously you'd need to keep these. These don't look like they're really worn that bad. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the old ones in the packages where the new ones were, just because I have a hard time getting rid of anything anyways. So I don't know if I wasn't getting good grease on everything. This, you can, I mean, it's wore through the paint, but you can feel a ridge right there on the side that's not broke. This one over here, this broke right there at where it started to bend, right outside of the bracket. So, I don't know. I don't think it's a greasing issue. I'm not sure. That's a jagged break. I don't know, have any of y'all ever broke your sway bar on your UTV? Drop a comment, let me know. And these new bushings, I am gonna go ahead and put some grease on the inside of them before I put it all back together, just because I don't want anything to be dry when we assemble it. There's definitely grease in this thing. Okay, and all I'm using to wipe that grease off is these rags. They're a tub o' towel. These things actually work pretty decent, getting grime and oil and everything else off your hands. I just picked these up on Amazon. I'll throw a link down in the description, so if you're interested in some, you can pick some up. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the inside of these off because they got a lot of built up gunky grease Now greasing these is a little bit of a pain. These grease certs that are in here, these really need to have some sort of like 45 or a 90 on them pointing them out, because you can see there's a grease cert and there's a spring. So not much room right there to get anything on it. Really makes it a pain to get to. That's something that they should really update from the factory on these machines. Okay, that one's clean enough. That's like paint and stuff. There's no oil or grease or anything on that. So that one's okay. Let's clean the other one and get this thing thrown back together. Okay, so the first step I'm gonna do, going back together with it, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. That washer, that metal washer that's in there is gonna go against this ridge on this bolt. So that's there. We'll go ahead and put the other one on the other side. Then we'll take that new sway bar. I'm gonna grease the new bushings and everything around it, and we'll hold these up here with the clamps and get this thing started. Okay, here's the new ones. They're identical to the old ones. So your grease is gonna come in through this hole from your zert and just pump inside of this, and it's got some grooves inside here that grease should get in, just to help keep a grease film in between the sway bar and the bushings. So I'm just going to coat it with some of this Lucas red and tacky grease. This is pretty much what I use around the farm on most things. This stuff works pretty good. I'll leave a link to this down in the description box. I also pick up this on Amazon. That's about the cheapest place I can find it. And all we're going to want to do is just put a nice thick bead of that stuff in here so nothing's dry. It's okay if it pushes out. It's going to be good enough. Okay, so here's the new sway bar. Go ahead and just kind of lay it up here where it goes, like so. I'm going to grab these bushings, stick them around. And we'll just kind of rotate it up where it goes. Okay, well, actually, never mind. I guess I got the wrong bushings from Partzilla. These bushings said frequently bought together with the sway bar, so I just assumed that it would be the correct ones. It is not. You can see these are quite a bit smaller than these. Let me grab another one of these. So here's the ones that recommended. Here's the factory ones. So these definitely do not fit this new sway bar. Not sure which ones these are. These may be for the front sway bar, actually. I think it is a little bit smaller. So there's the rears. Good thing they're not awful looking. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up now, and then we'll get this thing put together. Okay, I got the new ones. I put them in the solvent tank, got them decently clean. They might be a little wore in here. I think those grooves probably should be a little deeper. So I am probably gonna have to try to research and find the correct bushing for these. But for now, these will work. They're not awful. So I'll go ahead and grease these and we'll get back on it. Okay, let's try this again. Got our bushings, they're all greased up. Get that popped on there. I'm gonna try to set this right up here. And just at least get a bolt started in here so it'll hold it for us. Okay, that'll hold that. We can go ahead and get this side put on. Just stick up on this bar. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and snug these up just a little bit. I'm not gonna fully tighten them just yet till I get everything set where it needs to be. These wouldn't be bad bolts to go ahead and put anti-seize on as well. Okay, now, since this is all on, we're gonna push this over, stick it down on the sway bar, start this nut on the top side. Remember, this is a 15 millimeter. All right, everyone, that was a pretty simple install. It would have been a little more easier if I had the correct bushings to begin with, but overall, not too bad. Still not sure exactly why it broke. If you guys have any ideas of why your sway bar would break the way it did, because it was pretty jagged, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. I appreciate everyone taking time to watch the video. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a thumbs up. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.